What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back in the garage, this time working on the fuel system on the Nova. The fuel system on the Nova is actually something I've gotten quite a few questions about online, but it's not something I've ever really gone over. So we're gonna go over the fuel system back to front, and then we'll get into the maintenance portion of everything. And starting in the trunk, as you would guess, there's a fuel cell back here, and the car is just on race gas. We're not running alcohol. We're just running 110 race fuel VP. And that feeds right down into our Holley electric fuel pump. We're running their blue pump, which is 100 gallon per hour. And I believe on the good, better, best scale, this is the middle of the road pump. I believe the red is the entry level, blue is the middle, and their black is their top of the line. Not really top of the line, but top of the line in this form. And you can run alcohol and stuff with that black pump. So we got 100 gallon per hour electric fuel pump. And what we'll be working on today is these two filters, the pre-filter and the post-filter. They're Holley billet canister filters, and we'll be changing the filter elements in those. The pre-filter is 100 micron, and the post-pump filter is a 40 micron. Then the fuel line runs up along the frame all the way up to the front to a fuel pressure regulator that's also by Holley. We have it set at right about 7.5 PSI is about the sweet spot for my particular setup. And that feeds into our quick fuel carburetor. This is a Boost referenced 950 CFM carburetor. And a big question that I get is if we're running a return line on my setup, and we're not. This is a non-return system. Haven't had any issues down track with fuel pressure or anything like that. So seems to work for mine. And that's basically it when it comes to the fuel system. It's really simple, but if you guys do have any questions, just comment below and I'll answer those. And yeah, so now we're gonna get to servicing the fuel filters. The fuel filter element inside of those canisters, those billet canisters, looks like this. And I like to change these before every season. But in order to get those canisters out, I need to drain the fuel system, and I don't have any petcocks or anything like that on the fuel cell. So what I'm gonna do is disconnect the feed line from the regulator, turn the fuel pump on, and I'll just dump it into a bucket or one of my fuel cans, and we'll empty the fuel system. Got it draining into a can, the fuel pump's on. And we'll just wait for the fuel cell to empty, which shouldn't take very long. Got the fuel filters off. We're gonna go ahead and start with the 40 micron, which would be the post pump filter. We'll take out the element, see what it looks like compared to the new one, and then we'll compare the used one post filter versus the pre-filter, the 100 micron. So we'll get to taking these apart. Here's what it looks like torn apart. It's really simple. Canister with a couple of O-rings that comes in a kit to replace. And here's the filter element that came out of it. Maybe hard to see on camera, but I can see a couple little things in there. But what you can really tell is the color difference between the new filter on the right and the used filter on the left. So we're gonna go ahead and swap the new filter in, swap the O-rings, get this put back together, and do the same thing on the pre-filter. Alright, here's the pre-filter 100 micron that just came out. A little bit dirty, but honestly looks really good. Means our fuel system's clean. Here's the new one. So in comparison, not a ton different, which is good. We got everything buttoned back up, got it started up. There was no leaks, and we were able to pull it outside and get some heat in the engine and the transmission and in the rear end and everything. I like to do that a few times during the winter just to keep the oil moving through everything. So as always, I really appreciate all of you guys watching, following along, and subscribing. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up. I actually just picked this guy up yesterday. Can't give any hints of what it's for quite yet, but lots of cool stuff to come on the channel. Make sure to subscribe and follow along, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you guys.